The last bell rang loudly through the corridors of Sunrise Public School. But instead of rushing home, Rohan and Ananya hurried toward their classroom notice board. A bright blue sheet was pinned in the center. School picnic, destination, Chennai. Rohan's eyes widened. Chennai? That's near the sea. Ananya smiled, and full of history. Temples, beaches, museums. This is going to be amazing. For the next week, their excitement grew. They packed snacks, notebooks, cameras, and caps. Their teacher, Mrs. Lakshmi, reminded them, this is not only a picnic, it is a learning journey. Observe, ask questions, and enjoy responsibly. Finally, the day arrived. The school bus rolled out early in the morning. The sky was pale orange, and the air felt cool and fresh. Inside the bus, students sang songs, shared chips, and pressed their faces to the windows as buildings slowly gave way to wider roads and palm trees. Rohan sat by the window. Ananya, look! I think the air already smells different. She laughed. That's because you're thinking about the ocean. After a few hours, a signboard welcomed them. Welcome to Chennai. Their first stop was Marina Beach. As soon as they stepped down, a vast stretch of golden sand opened before them. The Bay of Bengal shimmered under the sun, and waves rolled in with a soothing roar. The salty breeze lifted Ananya's hair. I've never seen such a big beach, she said softly. Rohan kicked off his shoes. Race you to the water. They ran, laughing, their feet sinking into the warm sand. The waves rushed forward, touching their toes, then pulling back as if inviting them again. Some students collected shells. Others built small sand forts. Vendors walked by selling balloons, roasted corn, and cotton candy. Mrs. Lakshmi gathered them near the shore. Marina Beach is one of the longest urban beaches in the world, she explained. It is not only a place to relax, but also an important part of Chennai's identity. Ananya wrote quickly in her notebook. Rohan drew a small wave beside her notes. After washing their feet, they boarded the bus again, still smiling. Their next destination was Kabalishwarar Temple in Mylapore. Tall, colorful towers rose into the sky, covered with detailed sculptures of gods, animals, and dancers. The air smelled of flowers and incense. Soft bells rang in the distance. This place feels very peaceful, Rohan whispered. Ananya looked up at the towering entrance. And very old. Imagine how many people have walked here before us. Inside, their guide explained how the temple was dedicated to Lord Shiva and showed them the carved pillars and sacred spaces. The students watched devotees offering flowers and lighting lamps. Mrs. Lakshmi said, temples like this teach us about architecture, faith, and how communities lived centuries ago. As they stepped back outside, Ananya said, it feels like we walked inside history. Rohan nodded. History with colors. By noon, everyone was hungry. The bus took them to a shaded park area where they spread mats and opened lunchboxes. Lemon rice, sandwiches, fruits, and sweets appeared everywhere. Rohan traded his extra paratha for Ananya's mango slices. Best deal ever, he declared. After lunch came laughter, group photos, and a short rest under the trees. Their third stop was the Government Museum in Egmore. The building looked grand and quiet. Inside, wide halls displayed ancient statues, bronze idols, old coins, paintings, and even a section with dinosaur fossils. Rohan stopped in front of a huge skeleton. Ananya, imagine this walking on Marina Beach. She tried to picture it and burst out laughing. They moved to the bronze gallery. The smooth, dark statues looked alive under the soft lights. These are hundreds of years old, the guide said. They show the artistic excellence of South India. Ananya stood quietly for a moment. It's like people from the past are speaking without words. Rohan added, and we're listening with our eyes. Before leaving, they wrote their favorite exhibits on a small activity sheet. Both of them wrote the same thing: the Bronze Dancer. In the afternoon, the bus headed toward Fort St. George. Thick walls and old cannons lined the grounds. The fort once protected the city during colonial times and now housed important offices and a museum. Inside, they saw letters written centuries ago, uniforms, maps, and paintings. So many people lived and worked here, Rohan said. Soldiers, traders, leaders. Ananya looked at an old map of Chennai. The city was smaller then, but it kept growing. Mrs. Lakshmi smiled. Cities are like stories. Every generation adds a new chapter. Their final stop before sunset was Elliot's Beach, Besant Nagar Beach. This beach was quieter. The waves were gentler. The sky slowly turned gold and pink. The students walked along the shore, collecting shells and clicking photos. Some stood silently, watching the sun sink into the sea. Rohan drew a line in the wet sand. This is the best ending to a picnic. Ananya nodded. We saw fun places, we saw learning places, and now, a peaceful place. They bought small souvenirs from nearby stalls, keychains shaped like shells, and tiny notebooks with Chennai printed on them. As the bus started its return journey, tired voices replaced the morning songs. Heads leaned on windows. Bags were messier, shoes were sandy, and smiles were everywhere. Rohan looked at Ananya. What was your favorite part? She thought. Marina Beach for the feeling, the museum for learning, the temple for peace, and this bus ride for memories. He smiled. I liked everything, especially how one city can have so many different worlds. Outside, city lights slowly appeared like scattered stars. Mrs. Lakshmi stood at the front. Today, you didn't just go on a picnic. You explored culture, history, nature, and yourselves. When the school building finally came into view, the students clapped softly, not wanting the day to fully end. As Rohan stepped down, he said, We should write this trip as a story. Ananya replied, Yes, so even when we grow up, we can travel back to Chennai. On paper. They walked out of the gate, tired but happy, carrying more than souvenirs. They carried a city full of waves, colors, and memories.